What if I told you that life, death, and everything in between resemble a grand chess game? Each movement, each decision weaves an intricate narrative that holds profound spiritual significance. Imagine standing at a chessboard, pieces set before you, contemplating your next move. What lies beyond this veil of existence? It's a question that echoes through the corridors of time as we seek understanding of our purpose, our mortality, and what follows after our last breath. In every corner of our lives, spiritual evolution unfolds, much like a game of chess. The pieces may represent our choices, relationships, and the very essence of who we are as beings searching for connection. As we traverse this landscape of existence, we often overlook the deeper truths that lay hidden beneath the surface. Not everyone can see beyond their immediate surroundings. The desire for control and manipulation by those in power can cloud our vision, distorting our understanding of what it means to be truly alive. Dr. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross left an indelible mark on the way we comprehend the end of life through her work on the stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. These stages serve not only as a guide to navigating personal loss, but also as a lens through which we may interpret our spiritual journey. It is essential to consider these emotions not as mere responses to loss, but as gateways to deeper inquiries about existence itself. When confronted with the ultimate mystery of life and the inevitable approach of death, how do these emotions play a pivotal role in our choices? Are we ready to confront the uncomfortable truths lurking behind our carefully constructed facades? Does it not seem bizarre that in a world filled with infinite possibilities, we often choose to remain shrouded in ignorance? As social beings, we navigate through life attempting to adhere to the expectations of society, yet beneath those layers, our spirits yearn for liberation. Could it be that those who seek enlightenment become pawns in a larger game? Questions swirl around us as we contemplate the nature of power and the forces manipulating our understanding of reality. Imagine for a moment a player on the chessboard who sees the entire game, while others only see their immediate moves. This player might whisper doubts into our ears, influencing our decisions based on a distorted narrative. It's an unsettling thought, isn't it? How often do we allow ourselves to be manipulated by external forces? Fear, ache, and longing for understanding can cloud our judgment, leading us to deny the truths lurking beneath our conscious awareness. In our quest for spiritual growth, it is crucial to remain vigilant and aware of these manipulative influences. As we question our understandings of life and beyond, we must also explore whether our perceptions stem from genuine inquiry or if they are laden with biases and fears created by others. Embracing discomfort can be the first step toward awakening. It leads us to examine our beliefs deeply and confront the vulnerabilities hiding within us. So, what does it mean to move beyond this veil? To stand at the metaphorical chessboard and make an empowering choice? It starts with a willingness to let go of preconceived notions, the stories we tell ourselves that create barriers between us and our spiritual truths. Are you ready to dive deeper into the profound mysteries of existence? The journey ahead promises to enlighten and challenge the way we view our lives and our connections. If you're prepared to explore these concepts further, subscribe now and join us on this enlightening journey. Together, we can unravel the layers of meaning that shape our reality and lead us towards a more profound understanding of ourselves and the world around us. After all, the game has just begun, and the best moves are yet to come. As we peel back the layers of our existence, we inevitably confront two powerful emotions that shape our spiritual journeys: denial and anger. These initial reactions often manifest when we face uncomfortable truths about mortality and the broader dynamics of life. It's like standing before a vast ocean. the waves crashing against your feet, yet you refuse to believe the water is real. Denial allows us to sidestep the reality of our existence, creating a false sense of security. Anger, on the other hand, propels us into confrontation, demanding that we acknowledge the discord around us. Consider how you might respond when a loved one receives a terminal diagnosis. Do you fall into denial, believing that a miracle will happen? Or do you unleash anger at the universe for what seems unfair? Both emotions can serve as defense mechanisms, shielding us from the raw pain of the inevitable. In a world where spirituality is often muddied by external influences, these responses can serve to distract us from deeper insights, like a magician diverting your attention to pull off a trick. The stages that Dr. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross so eloquently described provide insight into this tumultuous landscape. When faced with the reality of our existence and the forces that shape it, we often oscillate between these stages, seeking a semblance of understanding amidst chaos. It is easy to dwell in denial when something threatens our familiar ways of living. Denying the truth feels safer, like keeping a lid on a boiling pot, until it will inevitably explode. But let us not underestimate the anger. It is often considered taboo to express feelings of frustration toward life's injustices. However, anger can break the chains of denial. It's a powerful force that can catalyze change and push us out of our comfort zones. When we channel our anger constructively, rather than suppressing it, we can begin to question the narratives that have been handed down to us. What lies do we tell ourselves that prevent us from confronting reality? In a practical sense, think about your daily encounters. How often do you hear someone express anger over social injustice, political corruption, or even personal grievances? Those emotions can act as a beacon, illuminating areas in our lives that need attention. Conversely, how many times have you found yourself denying that something truly affects you, perhaps brushing off your unhappiness as just a phase instead of addressing it? Reflect on your own spiritual path. Have you noticed moments where denial or anger played a role in your understanding? What distractions have diverted your attention from the truth of your circumstances? The key is recognizing these stages not merely as barriers, but as essential steps toward acknowledging the broader realities that shape our existence. It is vital to ask ourselves, how can we confront these feelings without being swept away? Embracing both denial and anger means acknowledging that discomfort is part of the journey. The aim isn't to eradicate these feelings, but to sit with them, to explore what they reveal about our desires, fears, and beliefs. What if we began to see anger not as a foe, but as a vital messenger, guiding us toward truths we might otherwise ignore? Navigating through denial and anger creates a tumultuous but necessary path to genuine acknowledgement. It is when we embrace these feelings that we discover our capacity to change. The question now arises, how open are you to exploring your emotions, even those that feel uncomfortable or disruptive? As you reflect on your own interactions with denial and anger, consider whether you gravitate toward recognizing truths or if you shy away from feeling the full weight of such revelations. In light of that, when faced with uncomfortable truths, do you lean towards denial or anger? Leave a comment below. Let's explore this together. By fostering an environment where we openly discuss these responses, we can empower ourselves and each other to face the complexities of our spiritual journeys, encouraging greater depth and awareness. As we prepare to navigate the next stages of this extraordinary journey, remember that embracing the truth, even the difficult ones, can lead us to a more authentic existence. Onward we go, deeper into the heart of our spiritual awakening. As we delve deeper into the landscape of our emotional and spiritual journeys, we encounter two pivotal stages that often arise in response to life's harsher realities: negotiation and depression. These stages can initially feel like emotional traps, holding us back from a full embrace of our spiritual evolution. Yet, when understood through the lens of our current experiences, they can serve as gateways to transformative self-discovery. Imagine standing at a crossroads, confronted with the weight of your choices. In the face of spiritual manipulation, whether by societal norms, religious institutions, or the pressures of personal identity, many resort to negotiation. This bargaining stage often manifests as the mind's desperate attempt to make sense of a world that feels increasingly out of control. We might find ourselves asking, if I do this, maybe I can avoid the pain, or if I believe this particular narrative, perhaps I will escape the truth that haunts me. Such thoughts offer a false sense of agency in a situation that feels overwhelmingly dictated by external forces. Consider, for instance, an individual grappling with a significant loss, the passing of a loved one. In this vulnerable moment, they may negotiate with themselves or even with a higher power. If I promise to be a better person, will I still have the chance to see them again? This impulse, although natural, reflects a profound sense of helplessness that often arises when confronted with accepting the finality of existence. How many times have we, too, found ourselves negotiating our beliefs, trying to fit them into a narrative that aligns with our understanding of the world, while compromising our authenticity in the process? However, beneath the surface of this negotiation lies a deeper, more troubling emotion: depression. It's a stage that can envelop us like a heavy fog, dimming our spirits and clouding our perceptions of possibility. When negotiation fails, or when the truths we bargain with prove fruitless, depressive thoughts can lead us to perceive life as nothing but a series of endless struggles. The feelings of hopelessness that accompany depression can create a paralyzing sense of despair, limiting our ability to see the path ahead. Utilizing Dr. Kübler-Ross's insights, we can understand that these emotional states, although challenging, provide a unique opportunity for reflection and growth. The aim is not to hastily escape the uncomfortable embrace of depression or the exhausting cycle of negotiation. Instead, it is essential to recognize how these stages can illuminate unseen aspects of ourselves, our fears, our attachments, and even our dependencies on external validation. Consider how, in your own life, negotiation and depression may appear. When faced with challenging truths, what are the narratives you construct to soothe your anxieties? Are you trying to strike a deal with yourself to avoid facing deeper issues? Perhaps you convince yourself that if you just endure this tough moment, peace will eventually arrive. But in doing so, do you unwittingly suppress the very feelings that hold the potential for profound transformation? Reflecting on the broader context of spiritual manipulation can help us challenge the narratives that keep us trapped in cycles of negotiation and despair. Are we, in our pursuit of understanding and enlightenment, just bargaining for acceptance from a reality governed by unseen hands? The elite narratives surrounding us can shape our beliefs so deeply that we forget to ask, are these truly mine? This leads us to a pivotal question: how do we reclaim our agency? To break free from the negotiation of our true selves, we must first acknowledge and engage fully with our heartfelt emotions. Rather than drowning in depressive thoughts, we can embrace them as signals that something needs to change. By honoring our vulnerabilities, we can carve a pathway towards self-discovery. As you reflect on your spiritual journey, think about what personal negotiations you might be facing. Are you quietly bargaining with significant aspects of your existence? Do you find yourself falling into depression when your expectations aren't met? Share your thoughts in the comments. What strategies do you use to navigate through these emotional stages? In recognizing the interplay between negotiation and depression, we unlock the potential to move forward into greater authenticity. Join me as we continue this exploration, unraveling how our emotions can guide us toward deeper understanding and alignment with our true selves. Only then can we prepare to confront the next stage of our transformative journeys. Embrace this process as each step takes us closer to reclaiming the spiritual narrative that is rightfully ours. As we journey further into the labyrinth of our emotional and spiritual landscape, we arrive at a critical juncture: acceptance. Often perceived as the ultimate goal in the grieving process, acceptance is not merely an endpoint, but a transformative pathway that invites us to explore the richest layers of our existence. However, the truth about acceptance is far more nuanced and complex than it may first appear. Imagine standing on the edge of a steep cliff, looking down at the turbulent waves crashing below. The fear of what lies ahead can be overwhelming. In the same way, when faced with the harsh realities of life, loss, betrayal, or even the inevitability of our own mortality, acceptance demands we confront our most profound fears. Unlike denial or anger, acceptance requires us to step into a space of vulnerability, acknowledging the entirety of our experiences, both painful and joyous. Dr. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross beautifully illustrates this stage, yet we must consider whether we truly grasp the essence of acceptance. In our society, acceptance is often marketed as an instantaneous resolution, as if we can simply decide to move on. But is acceptance something we can simply choose, or is it built over time through understanding, grief, and reflection? It asks us to dissolve the barriers constructed by denial, anger, and negotiation, exposing us to the raw truths of our existence. As you contemplate your own struggles, consider the moments where you found difficulty in accepting the unacceptable. Have you been grappling with an unresolved issue, expecting its resolution to bring clarity? Instead of offering solace, this mindset often leads us into a cycle of dissatisfaction. Acceptance does not imply that we condone the events that challenge us. Rather, it encourages us to embrace our situations with all their complexities and messiness. In daily life, how often do we rush to offer "we're sorry for your loss" or "it'll get better" in an attempt to comfort those in pain? These well-meaning words may inadvertently dismiss deeper emotions. When we experience loss, we hope for understanding, a space where we can fully express our grief without the pressure to hastily find acceptance. What if acceptance holds a different quality? A quality of patience, of allowing ourselves to feel every emotional wave, the sorrow, the anger, the confusion, until they naturally ebb away, creating space for new insights. Acceptance in this light becomes an invitation to witness ourselves authentically. Have you ever unearthed the passions and desires that you had buried deep under the weight of societal expectations? Perhaps it was in the quiet moments of acceptance that you discovered your true aspirations, untainted by external pressures. By bathing in the waters of acceptance, we may finally find the courage to forge ahead, shedding the labels imposed upon us and reclaiming the essence of our identities. Yet, even as we inch toward acceptance, it is vital to recognize that this stage often coexists with moments of conflict. Acceptance doesn't mean we are free from grief. It's a dynamic interplay of emotions. Instead of seeking a linear path, we must be willing to embrace the ebb and flow, a dance with both light and shadow, heartache and healing. Are you open to this dance? Are you ready to allow both joy and sadness to coexist in your life? The question remains, how can you cultivate an environment of acceptance in your daily life? By facing discomfort head-on, you create space for grace and understanding to flourish. Reflect on your relationships with others. Are you willing to accept their complexities, just as you desire acceptance for your own? Consider how acceptance weaves through relationships, allowing for shared vulnerability and creating profound connections. As we forge ahead on this path of acceptance, I invite you to engage with this dialogue. How have you navigated moments of acceptance in your life? What lessons have emerged from embracing both the darkness and the light? Share your thoughts in the comments. Our collective reflections can deepen our understanding and enable us to support one another in our spiritual evolutions. Moving toward acceptance signifies a pivotal moment in our personal quests. It empowers us to embrace the fullness of our experiences, enriching not only our own lives, but also those of the others with whom we share our journeys. Each step taken in acceptance reveals a brighter path ahead, a path toward authenticity, connection, and profound spiritual awakening. Together, we continue this exploration into understanding the depths of our emotional lives, preparing to unlock the transformative power that lies ahead. As we come closer to the culmination of our emotional journey, we find ourselves at the gateway of transformation. This stage invites us to confront the question, what does it truly mean to evolve beyond the weight of our past experiences? Transformation isn't simply another buzzword in the realm of self-improvement. It's a profound and often unsettling process that challenges our very foundations and reshapes our understanding of self. Imagine a caterpillar nestled safely within its cocoon. It seems to have reached a comfortable state, secure in its familiar surroundings. Yet it is in this cocoon that a metamorphosis occurs, one that requires turmoil and resilience. This stage depicts the essence of transformation. It is necessary for breaking free from the confines of our former selves. Each of us, at one point or another, faces a cocoon of our own, bound by fears, past traumas, and ingrained beliefs. The question arises, are you ready to confront the struggles needed to emerge as a more aligned version of yourself? Transformation may feel intimidating, akin to stepping into the unknown. One may wonder, will I be able to recognize myself after this process? This anxiety often leads us to cling to the comfort of the familiar, perpetuating cycles of the very behaviors we seek to change. Think back to a moment when you felt stuck in a pattern that no longer served you. How often did you hesitate to take a leap of faith, fearing the unpredictability of change? How much longer will you allow this fear to dictate your decisions? Dr. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross posits that transformation encompasses both the acceptance of painful truths and the eventual release of what no longer aligns with our genuine selves. Each loss we endure, every suppressed emotion we confront, and the embrace of acceptance pave the way for this evolution. But what happens when we resist the calling of transformation? When we cling to outdated identities or narratives, we may find ourselves in a cyclical pattern of stagnation. While the process is personal, it often echoes through the collective human experience. Take, for instance, the collective transformations witnessed throughout history, societal changes driven by confronting injustices. The movement toward equality, for example, involves both acceptance of past wrongs and a commitment to transforming our societal structures. In your personal life, you may find similar epiphanies. It might be a realization that a toxic relationship has held you back, or the understanding that your career path is misaligned with your core values. What aspects of your life are calling for transformation? As you contemplate these moments of potential transformation, it's essential to consider how you can invite this evolution into your life. Imagine a garden awaiting the arrival of spring. The seeds buried in the soil will not sprout until they are nurtured. What seeds of transformation have you planted in your heart, and what steps can you take to cultivate them? This may involve establishing new habits or surrounding yourself with individuals who inspire growth. Transformation often requires shedding layers, identities, beliefs, even friendships that no longer serve us. It's as if the caterpillar bravely breaks free of its cocoon only to emerge as a more brilliant, vibrant being. But this shedding can be painful. Are you prepared to let go of relationships or beliefs that no longer resonate? Can you appreciate the beauty in the struggle, knowing that discomfort can lead to profound growth? As we embrace transformation, we must also reflect on how it shapes our interactions with others. We often project our fears of change onto those around us. By courageously confronting our metamorphosis, we create an environment that encourages others to embark on their journeys too. Are you ready to be a beacon of hope, inspiring those in your life to confront their own cocoon? In concluding this exploration of transformation, I invite you to share your own experiences. What transformations have you undergone? How have these shifts changed your perspective? Do you see yourself as more of a caterpillar or a butterfly at this moment in your journey? Comment below and join the conversation. Each of our narratives contributes to a shared understanding that, as we evolve, we foster connection and empathy with one another. As we continue on this path of transformation, let us remain open to the immense possibilities that lie ahead. Embracing change may be daunting, but it is within this challenge that we uncover our true potential. The pathway stretches before us, adorned with the beauty of reclaimed authenticity and enriched connections, transforming each step into a celebration of the ever-evolving journey of life. Together, we will navigate this sacred process of metamorphosis, moving forward into a horizon of newfound wisdom and understanding. As we approach the final stages of our journey through the emotional landscape we've navigated together, we reach the understanding of integration. Having traversed the valleys of denial and anger, weathered the storms of negotiation and depression, embraced the waves of acceptance, and undergone the transformative trials of metamorphosis, we now arrive at a crucial question. How do we weave these experiences into the fabric of our lives? Integration, often seen as a quiet process, is about unifying all that we have learned and felt into a coherent self. This stage is not simply about piecing together fragments of our past. It's about acknowledging the richness each experience brings to our existence. Life is complex, and so too are our emotions. In the wake of transformation, we might feel a mix of triumph and trepidation. How can we honor our journey while simultaneously preparing for new challenges? Think of integration as a patchwork quilt. Each piece represents an emotional experience, some light, others heavy, some vibrant, others muted. Together, they create a unique tapestry reflective of who you are. The task before you is to embrace not just the colorful patches of joy, but also the darker hues of pain. Can you see how each stitch in the quilt tells a story, contributing to the overall beauty of the whole? This kind of mindfulness invites us to reflect deeply on our experiences rather than gloss over them. Are you ready to embrace the entirety of your narrative? At this stage, many may question, what do I do with the pain I've endured? The answer lies in recognizing that pain, when embraced, often transforms into wisdom. It reminds us of our resilience and the strength we possess in facing life's challenges. Perhaps you've found solace in sharing your story with others or channeling your experiences into creative endeavors. How have you transformed your pain into purpose? Reflecting on these questions not only leads to self-discovery, but also allows for genuine connection with those around us. In integrating our experiences, it's important to establish practices that reinforce our newfound understanding. Consider journaling as a tool. Writing down your thoughts can clarify insights, providing a safe space to process emotions and reinforce lessons learned. What insights have you captured in your journal? Or perhaps you find fulfillment in connecting with nature, taking time to walk quietly among the trees. This provides a serene backdrop where you can reflect on your personal journey while grounding yourself in the present moment. How do you incorporate these practices into your life? Moreover, integration invites us to confront how we show up in our relationships. Every interaction is an opportunity for deepening connections or for allowing old patterns to resurface. Have you noticed yourself slipping back into familiar habits in your relationships, such as fear of vulnerability or pushing others away? Or have you found new ways of relating that embrace honesty and authenticity? Integration isn't just about ourselves. It also involves forging deeper bonds with those we love. In our journey toward emotional integration, presence plays a vital role. When we truly engage with ourselves and with others, we nurture the seeds of understanding and compassion. Are you willing to lend an open ear to someone's struggles as you share your own? This reciprocal act can ignite healing not only within us, but also around us. Consider how fostering a community of support can create an atmosphere for growth. Through gatherings, discussions, or shared experiences, we can lighten each other's burdens on the path to integration. As we draw closer to concluding this exploration, I encourage you to reflect on your own integration process. What steps have you taken to weave your emotional experiences into your daily life? How might you invite others to share in that process? How do you ensure that your past informs but does not dictate your future? I invite you to share your reflections in the comments area. Each story, each perspective enriches our collective journey of healing and understanding. Moving forward, the process of integration opens the door to continued growth and evolution. It urges us to remain aware of our emotional landscapes while nurturing the connections that ground us in our humanity. As we carry forth the wisdom gleaned from our experiences, we set the stage for meaningful change, both within ourselves and around us. Together, as we embrace life's complexities and celebrate our unique journeys, we will continue to explore what it truly means to live authentically and purposefully, touching lives as we go. Let's commit to this continuous journey of integration, illuminating our paths and those of others who join us on this extraordinary expedition. As we arrive at the final block of our journey, we pause to reflect on the cycles of emotion we have traversed and the profound insights we have gathered. Each step along the way, denial, anger, negotiation, depression, acceptance, transformation, and integration, has woven a tapestry of experiences that define not just our past, but also our present and future. This culminates in a powerful realization. Our emotional journey is an ongoing narrative, one that continuously unfolds with every breath we take. Let's consider the concept of renewal, an essential aspect that often emerges following integration. Renewal invites us to consider what it means to invite fresh beginnings into our lives, even amid the comfort of established routines. Just as nature undergoes cycles of growth, rest, and rebirth, so too do we have the opportunity to embrace moments of renewal. But here lies a question. How do we ensure that we don't simply return to our old patterns after we've gone through such a transformative process? Imagine standing in a garden filled with dormant seeds. Without careful tending and nurturing, those seeds may never reach their full potential. In the same way, our renewed selves require attention and care. What practices have you established to cultivate this sense of renewal in your daily life? This could be as simple as dedicating quiet time for reflection each day, diving into a new creative pursuit, or even reassessing relationships that energize rather than drain you. The commitment to self-care creates fertile ground for new growth, ensuring that we are continuously evolving and flourishing. Additionally, renewal often calls for a moment of reckoning with who we have become. Are we open to embracing the person emerging from our struggles? Are there remnants of self-doubt that linger, whispering old narratives that no longer serve us? What if we took a moment to celebrate our progress and recognize every small victory along the way? Acknowledging our growth can serve as a powerful reinforcement, reminding us that we are not defined solely by our past experiences, but by the resilience we cultivate in the face of adversity. Throughout our lives, we may encounter others who are wandering through their own emotional terrain. This journey toward renewal also provides us the opportunity to mentor and support those seeking guidance. Can you remember a time someone's encouragement or wisdom sparked a renewal in you? By sharing your story and offering insights gained through your own struggles and triumphs, you extend a hand to those ready to embark on their journey of change. How might your narrative inspire someone else to embrace their own path of renewal? In fostering a cycle of renewal, it's essential to recognize that it doesn't occur in isolation. Our connections with others form a crucial part of this process. Are you willing to lean into your community to invite others to share their stories of growth and struggle? As we coordinate our energies toward collective renewal, we enrich not just our own lives, but also those of our friends, family, and even wider communities. Imagine a support system where vulnerability is welcomed, where sharing our fears becomes an act of strength rather than weakness. It is in this shared space that true renewal can unfold. As we conclude our exploration today, consider the importance of intention in this process. Renewal calls for deliberate choices to move forward boldly, equipped with the wisdom from lessons learned. Are you ready to set your intentions for the future? What dreams or aspirations have recently begun to stir within you, urging for expression? Perhaps it's time to bring those visions to life, to step into new possibilities while honoring the hard-fought lessons learned in your journey. Before we move on, I encourage you to share your thoughts. How has your understanding of renewal changed throughout our discussion? What steps will you take to incorporate this sense of renewal into your journey moving forward? Have you noticed any shifts in your relationships that reflect your own growth? Comment below and let's engage in conversation together. Each voice contributes to a tapestry woven with insight and shared experiences. In summary, the emotional journey we've embarked upon is not merely a linear path, but rather a dynamic cycle of experiences that continuously shape who we are. Embracing renewal allows us to grow, adapt, and thrive, fostering connections that amplify our collective resilience. Let us carry this vision of renewal into our lives, transforming it into a blossoming reality while touching the lives of those around us. With every step we take, let's move forward with intention, grace, and a deep sense of possibility as we navigate the beautiful complexities of existence together.